Can you believe the spring medicinal plants are already starting to grow? Let me show you some that I've found. Here on the side of my house, I found cleavers. You know these are cleavers because they are super sticky to your hands. Cleavers are probably the coolest herb that I found this year. They are amazing at cleaning your lymphatic system. They can be used fresh. They can be infused into an oil and massaged. The oil can be massaged onto your lymph nodes. You can put the fresh cleavers as a poultice onto your lymph nodes. But what I did is I just tossed them in a little pint jar. Just cleavers cut into, I don't know, 1-inch segments maybe. Toss that, covered it with water, toss that in the fridge, drank it the next morning. It wasn't bad tasting. You could add some lemon or some other things to it if you wanted. It reminds me a bit of a cucumber. I think it's just a light, fresh taste. And it really did clear out my lymph nodes. So definitely a good one to use. There are some amazing ways to cook it. I will link a video above where I tried out different recipes and presented the best ones to you. But there are some other uses that I found that I did not know about in the spring. The juice can help sunburn, which I thought was kind of cool. You can use cleavers, according to some sources, for kidney stones, gallstones, UTIs, kidney infections. And they say that you can use it, take 1.5 ounces of the herb in 1 pint of warm water for 2 hours, and this will help psoriasis, eczema, and ulcers. Who knew? And according to Plans for a Future, the tea from cleavers has been used to treat cancer. Haven't really seen that anywhere else, and I would have to research that more, which I probably will in the spring, but I think that's really interesting. Also, according to the Herb Bible, you can use it for snake and spider bites, earaches. It can help with your weight, and it's an anti-inflammatory. So this is pretty powerful little plant growing wild in your yard, and easily identifiable. So for me, this is one of the easiest herbs to work into your life in the spring. Over here, I see a ton of what I'm pretty sure is red dead nettle. Now, I tried that this year, but it was too late in the spring and they were really bitter. So I'm excited about trying them in about March, maybe February, and seeing if they taste a bit better. Now, red dead nettle. This is an herb with a really, really strong flavor if you don't use it when it's super early in the spring. But it does also have healing properties. It's an antioxidant. It contains vitamins like vitamin C, A, and K. It has iron, it has fiber, it's antibacterial, antifungal, it's anti-inflammatory. It's really just a good herb to have around. It can help with seasonal allergies. So I personally made a tincture from this in the hopes of helping our seasonal allergies because my husband and my mom all have some of those. There's also a tea that's been used to help with kidney issues, and they say you can make it into a poultice to stop bleeding, heal cuts, help with burns and bruises. Like I said, when I tried this herb, the flavor was super strong because it was already starting to warm up some in the spring, and really I tried it too late. Now, I did find some good recipes. I'll put the video that talks about those above. However, I'm excited about trying this herb earlier in the spring when it's not quite as potent. So hopefully that will go well. And check out these wild garlics. Isn't that awesome? I didn't realize that they came up this early, but they certainly are. I found more plantain. It does not seem to have been hurt by the frost we had and is still growing happily. So it's really interesting. I looked in my book of herbs and other medicinal knowledge, and I don't have plantain in here. Plantain is one that's super widely known. It was probably the first herb that I learned about as an adult that had healing properties. And it's really famous specifically for its ability to help with bee stings. It's one that you can use when you are stung by a bee. You can chew it up. Tastes horrible, but you can chew it up, put it on the bee sting, and it draws out that sting. I've also used it in a cream along with jewelweed to take care of rashes and bug bites. Plantain seems to have some ability to calm down your allergic response, because I learned from Dave Odd that you can, if you get stung by stinging nettles, if you accidentally touch them and they prick your skin will start to swell and itch and turn red. But if you do the same thing with plantain, you chew it and you put it on there, it does stop it. And I did a scientific experiment to make sure that really worked, and it absolutely did. So I don't have all of the deep facts about plantain. There's a lot more I need to learn over the winter, but this is definitely an herb to keep. Don't mow this down. And over here, I found some pepperweed. So if I need pepper through the year, if I run out, I can come out here in the winter and pluck my little pepper seeds off this plant and use them in my cooking. And of course, last but not least, dandelions. Dandelions are here all through the winter, and they'll be ready to harvest the roots for the best taste in the early spring. So let's talk about dandelion. This poor little plant has been the target of all kinds of herbicides and all kinds of efforts to eliminate it. And it is such an amazing healing herb. It can be eaten from the tip of the flower to the bottom of the root. Every part of it can be eaten, and the bulk of them have healing values. Now, I started to record a video about dandelion, and I don't remember if I ever finished and posted it. If so, I'll put it above. But my favorite way to eat the dandelions is to take the flowers and separate the yellow from the stems, and then put that in some batter and make a fritter. It's easy, it's delicious, and the green parts have a strong taste, whereas the yellow parts do not. So if you don't mind that strong taste, you can just take the whole flower, put it in some batter, put it directly in your oil and fry it. So what does dandelion do for you? The primary effects that I found have been regarding your gallbladder and your liver and your cholesterol. Dandelion has been known to stimulate your gallbladder. It can lower your cholesterol and just kind of detoxes your body, it looks like. You can make a blood sugar tea from dandelion root, ginseng, and ginger root. The Herb Bible says to drink 3 times a day. The root helps to metabolize things in your digestive system, helps you to absorb minerals more effectively. It helps your urinary tract function, especially if you combine it with like cranberry or echinacea, it says. And you can use the flowers to make a topical oil to massage onto your lymph tissues. But it has so many uses. There's so much more. I mean, I have 2 full pages and I'm not even close to being done studying it. So dandelion is just an all-around excellent herb to keep. The roots can be used to make a coffee substitute. I don't know if it's good. I'm always really creeped out by trying to harvest roots and use them in anything to drink. That I have trouble with that. I don't ever feel like I can get them clean. So if you know how to do that, and you could toss that in the comments, that would be amazing. So these are the herbs that I found so far that are growing in my yard. I'm very excited that they are already here, and I wonder what's growing in your yard. Have you seen any cool medicinal plants that you already know about? Let me know in the comments, and as always, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and as always, eat something wild. But maybe not these, they won't be ready until the spring, except the dandelion. Dandelion fritters. That would be good for supper.